Packaging has two main functions: to protect the product during transit and to sell the product. Due to the consumer-driven nature of the society we live in, there are many competitors selling the same product. Therefore, each needs to have distinguishable packaging to be recognised. Each piece of packaging will contain the logo, information about the product, as well as imagery. All of these elements battling against each other can contribute to a white noise around the consumer when they are shopping. The average consumer will often subconsciously take in such messages and then spend 10 to 20 seconds choosing a product. Therefore, the packaging has to communicate quickly and effectively or fail. All of these factors add up to a lot of packaging, which in turn leads to packaging waste. According to Packaging Waste, a website operated by Tonbridge Council, the average shopper will spend £470 a year on packaging alone. This results in an unnecessary cost on both the consumer and the company and adds to the growing problem on landfill sites. This project intends to inform young designers of such problems and possibly initiate a change in the focus of their future careers. The forms of primary research employed to date have been both qualitative and quantitative in the form of questionnaires. They have considered the recycling habits of young people and the reasons behind the choices they make. Questionnaires were issued to 60 students. 30 were undertaking a design course, 30 not. From each of these groups, half were male and half female. Findings stated that from 60 students, 80% recycle. 54% do it due to environmental concerns, while 30% felt influenced by who they live with. The remaining 16% had other reasons. Findings suggested that design students are more likely to recycle, with 87% saying they do, while non-design students only registered at 73%. From both groups, females recycle more than males. 55% of students felt the main function of packaging was to protect the product rather than sell, and 68% said the packaging of a product would influence their decision to buy it. This suggests that the packaging has a major part to play in purchases. Findings of this nature have informed the study regarding what type of people recycle and the reasons for this. Answers were also encouraged regarding what could convince the remaining students to recycle. While a few students said nothing, one non-design student said they would recycle if they were shown the implications of not recycling. This is a valid point for this particular project and was rather inspiring. This answer led me to think of how cigarette packaging now has a warning on it to try and reduce the number of people who smoke. I thought of doing designs like that, with an image showing how waste packaging can affect the environment with ice or landfill sites, and also how it can harm animals, such as this sea turtle who got caught up in a discarded plastic bottle ring and grew up to be disfigured. The previous idea was further evolved by this quote from the book Packaging Sustainability. The concept of birth, life and death is linear. It has a beginning, a middle and an end. We view the things we surround ourselves with as having the same linear quality. Things are made, we use them and then toss them away. But the reality is that there is no away. Products and packages have a life after we use them, as garbage in a landfill or incinerated, or feeder stock for new objects, such as recycling or reuse reclamation. This led me to think of packaging bearing images with a tagline such as "Is this my final destination?", which will hopefully make people stop and think before throwing stuff in the bin. The book provides information on the sustainable process and presses for a change. As suggested in the book named Packaging, at a basic level we package to protect, contain and identify products and materials from point A to B. This traces aspects of the history of packaging and how packaging functions today through particular examples. Using information such as this may help me identify a trend, which may then in turn influence future design strategies for this project. 10 million tonnes of packaging waste is produced every year in the UK, and most of this goes to landfill. This is a statistic sourced from the webpage Packaging Waste, produced by Tonbridge Council. Such statistics are of a generally thought-provoking nature. It can be assumed that by the fact so much packaging is thrown away, few people realise the true impact caused by packaging waste. This short clip of a TV episode House Smarts, found on YouTube, shows how some companies, such as cereal companies and Apple, have helped the environment by reducing the size of their packaging. It also shows that although products are recyclable, not all people recycle, so it's better for biodegradable materials to be used.
The next time you're in a store and you take a product off of the shelf, think for a minute about the packaging that it's in. According to the EPA, as much as a third of the non-industrial waste of the developed world comes from packaging. So that's food containers, plastic clamshells that hold things like small electronics. Almost everything you buy comes in some kind of package. While it's great when packaging is made from materials that can be recycled, there's no guarantee that they actually will be. Another way manufacturers can be sustainable is to design packaging that uses fewer materials. Take a look in the cereal aisle at your grocery store. There are some brands that offer products without the cardboard box, and that's a lot less packaging that could end up in the trash. Apple Computers is another good example. They tout their MacBook product to be leading the way in environmentally friendly computing. According to Apple, the MacBook's packaging is 53% smaller now than it was when it was first introduced in 2006. 80% more MacBook boxes fit on each shipping pallet, so fewer boats and planes are used to ship the product, resulting in fewer CO2 emissions, along with reduced waste from packaging materials. I'm sure it helps their bottom line, too. Less packaging means fewer shipping and materials costs. But hey, there's no reason we all can't benefit from being a little greener.
The aims of this project today are to create a design strategy that informs and educates students on the effects that overpackaging can have on the environment. All information should be displayed in a manner which is accessible and clear. The final piece should enlighten the viewer by presenting the information in an engaging format. Through our exploration into the industry, it appears that there are some companies that are trying to make a positive change in regards to packaging waste. However, there are also some companies that are either not trying or do not appear to care. If the effects of the impact packaging waste has were communicated to a wider audience, these companies might be forced to make a positive change, which would be better and cheaper for consumers in the long run. I estimate that researching into packaging waste and the types of materials available, as well as examples of existing packaging, should be finished by the latter stages of November, so visual testing can be undertaken through December. By January, I want to have a strong understanding of my project and should be experimenting with ideas and media, as well as making prototypes. Finalising the idea by early February will allow me to create a final prototype and measure the results with questionnaires. Any changes resulting from this research can be made, and making the final outcome will be in by late March for hand-in.